You guys can let me know who needs to get questions in because we have Coach Dwayne Ledford with us here to wrap up our night. Cameron, you go ahead, and then we'll go to Gary.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, Dwayne, Cameron with the Courier Journal. Obviously, losing Javion hurts. But, I mean, bringing Hassan as a guy who has starting experience, I imagine that how much does that help the offense, getting Hassan back healthy and back from his family, death in the family when you lose a guy like Javion?
I think it's huge. I mean, Hassan, he's got a lot of reps underneath his belt. And he's a guy that's, he's got a lot of juice in his legs. I mean, he can take it to distance. He's very good with the ball in his hands. So, I mean, we're definitely excited about to have him back. And also just excited about the guys that played last week and just how they stepped up with Berkeley and also Jalen Mitchell. And I thought those guys went in. They competed hard. They prepared well. And I thought they played well.
Gary.
Oh, to follow up that question, I mean, what does it say about your backfield depth that even with those two guys out, that you all were still able to gain yards, get big plays? I mean, is that something that you kind of saw happening during the course of the season?
I think that the way those guys prepared, I think the way they practice, I'm always somebody, I think if you practice well, if you practice good habits, it's going to show up in those opportunities that will come forward for you. And I think that Berkeley has made the most of those reps. You think back to the Florida State reps that he got, the opportunity to touch the ball. And, you never know when you get your opportunity. And those guys have been working hard behind the scenes for a while now. But for us out on the practice field, you see it. You see those glimpses. You see those opportunities when they get it at practice. And it's good to see them to actually be out there on a Saturday and getting live reps with it and doing something with that ball.
Go to Michael, then Jody, and then Kent Spencer.
Hey, Coach Ledford, Michael from Cardinal Authority. When you look at Syracuse, they're one of the best in the nation in takeaways. As an offense getting ready to face a defense like that, obviously that's an area that you guys have been struggling. What's the message? What are you stressing this week about that point in particular?
From day one when we get together with our guys, we talk about taking care of the football, and that's no matter who the opponent is, but that's something we've got to clean up. We've got to do a better job of taking care of the football. You cannot turn over the football and expect to put yourself in positions to win football games, and so that's something that we're talking about, and the players, they know that Syracuse is a very opportunistic team and taking the ball away, and we've got to do a better job of taking care of it.
Jody.
Coach, this is Jody from Cardinal Authority. As a follow-up a little bit to that, I know it's not like you guys don't practice ball security and you do all kinds of drills and all that. At this point of the season, can it become a little mental for guys when you have so many turnovers? And what can you do extra to make sure that it doesn't happen?
A lot of times when you see turnovers, I think you see it where a guy is trying to do a little bit of extra. They're trying to fight for that extra yard, or it's right before they hit the ground, the ball starts to come loose. And and being and seeing it, and once they get the experience of being in that situation, we do a lot of drills for that and creating those drills to try to create those opportunities for those guys to learn from that as well. And and I think same thing like with the penalty. I think a lot of it is that you got to do your best and just remembering you can't let that ball get loose and get away from you. And obviously defenses, I think they do a good job. We play some good defenses that do a good job of stripping the football and that actively go after the ball and try to create the turnovers. And we as an offense have to do a better job of making sure that we keep those fundamentals of taking care of the ball.
Kent.
Yeah, Dwayne, before last week, I would imagine, when you guys are, devising up a game plan, Javion and Tutu are the two guys that you want to make sure that gets those touches. You don't have them both last week. You may not have Tutu again this week. How does that change the way that you game plan or call the offense?
I think it's something that, our running backs, they're going to get touches. We know that. And, it might take something out of it that we were looking specifically to do. But as far as the overall game plan, like whoever that back is, we expect them to be able to get those touches and to be able to do something with the ball as well. Same thing for our receivers, like that slot receiver for us. That guy's going to get his opportunities. He's going to get opportunities with us a lot, and so there's going to be design plays to make sure that you're utilizing a Tutu or a Hawkins, especially in certain situations. But we try to keep those plays live and just give these other guys opportunities that's also practicing that as well. And so we try to keep them live and keep them going.
All right, who else has something before we finish up? Yeah, go again, Kent. You're fine.
Dwayne, in some way, does that, look, obviously when you take dynamic playmakers out of your offense, that's never a good thing. But also, teams understand that you're going to try to get those to the ball. Does it almost kind of make you guys a little bit more unpredictable?
You can look at it that way. I think that your body of work, when you get this late into the season, obviously you are with what you put on film. And, but I think that when you take that element away from it, they're probably kind of like, all right, well, who are they going to target here? Who's going to be that running back for them now? And, and so for us, it's fun to kind of to see who's going to step up. Who are those guys going to be able to step up and make those plays for us now? And, that was the exciting thing about this last game. We went against a Virginia defense that did extremely well against a run, but seeing Berkeley and Mitchell make the most of those opportunities that they got in the game and just how well they prepared and how well they ran in the game. And there are a couple things that, they learned from the game as well going forward. And you just look for, the next opportunity those guys get. Our whole mindset, that just we got to even when you're a backup, you never know when that opportunity is going to present itself, and you got to prepare yourself like you are that guy, and being ready. And that's a fun thing about a coach, and that's a really it's fun to see is just when a guy's back there and he's just grinding away. And he's waiting for the opportunity. You never know when it's going to happen, and then it happens, and you see them go out there. And they have that success. And so as a coach, it's fun to see that. It's fun to see that pay off for those kids. And so, we're looking forward to it, these guys that are getting their opportunities right now to make the most of it.
Cameron, finish us off.
Yeah, Dwayne, kind of off that. When you're without a guy like Javion, defenses had to prepare for Javion and had to take him into consideration. And you're without a guy like Tutu. Do you think defenses play softer coverage on the back end to keep everything in front of them, just knowing they don't have to kind of fill the box for a guy like Javion, or even when Hassan was out, a guy like Hassan?
You may see that, and like you're saying, Cam, with that, and if that's something that's what we're seeing, then obviously we'll have to do some more things where it's not like trying to take the top off the defense, but being more intermediate or underneath a little bit with what we're trying to do with our passing game or, with our play action stuff. But, that's something that during the course of the game that, we have to kind of figure out quick how is that defense? Are they playing any different than what they've shown on film now? Are they approaching the game kind of how we prepared for? Are they kind of showing something different because they're not expecting someone to be there? And so that's definitely something we got to keep an eye on.
All right, Coach, we'll finish up on that. We appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.